When I went to the mikveh, I was so scared all the time. Like, I was like, oh, fuck, I have to go home and, like, be with this man. And, like, how am I going to survive this night?
This Rebbitzin who taught me about mikveh is a genius and she's so wise. And she knew how to pitch mikveh to make it sound so awesome.
So, that it was so it makes you want them more.
I also have no problems with nudity. Listen, I've been to many a nude beach, so I get in there, rip the robe off, and I'm just like, do I have anything? Do I have anything? And I'm like, you gotta check me.
And they're so used to girls like cowering and hiding behind their towels.
Okay, Matzah Minute. Here we go. You know the drill. It's quick questions that you answer quickly, and if you don't want to answer them, sucks for you because there's no matzah here. So
you have to answer them.
Okay. What's your favorite Jewish song?
Princess by Julia Bloom. It's an old song by an artist that's no longer even around.
It's Jewish?
Jewish.
How does it go?
I can't sing like at all, but it's about like it was like a song about young Jewish girls being princesses. And I thought that was like a nice way to look at it, you know, at the time.
Interesting. Is it in English?
It's in English.
Interesting. Was this a song from your youth?
It was a song I found when I was a teenager, and then I like taught it to my students when I was a teacher. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll have to look that up. Who's your favorite comedian? And then who's your favorite Jewish comedian?
Favorite comedian of like that I've ever like, I guess general world would be Cameron Esposito.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, we almost got her on Yenta once.
Oh,
maybe I should push harder on that.
We should.
Okay.
Yeah, and then for Jewish comedian, I would have to say, like, I haven't heard you alone as much, Antonia, but
I'm a genius.
Ray Schiller is like, yeah, I love your content because it's so relatable for me. Like your jokes about seminary, I'm like, and you're funny as fuck, you know? I'm like, I can see this, I can hear it, I get it.
This is why we had you on the pod. That's amazing.
Ray is the best Jewish comedian.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Oh my God. Our listeners will be horrified if you curse. Okay. I just feel like this really reveals a lot about a person's soul. But when you open up YouTube, what do you see on your homepage?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
What?
I have a 4-year-old. I don't know. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, you also have a 4-year-old?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So part of the like coming out, this could, I guess, be one of the secret, you know.
Yeah.
We can save that for the secret, I guess.
Oh.
But although I don't want him to feel like he's a secret ever. Part of what happened is I fell in love with a woman when I first left the community, and like after about a year, and we had a child through IVF.
Wow.
And I carried her egg. So he's a biracial, like half Puerto Rican, half white, adorable little like dancing, singing 4-year-old, and that is why SpongeBob SquarePants shows up on my home screen.
Wow.
So it does say a lot about someone.
Where is he?
Right now he's with his other mom. Wow. And so we co-parent, where, you know, we've transitioned to that.
You need another book.
Yes.
That's
so
really,
a lot happens.
That's
good.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. And also like being a mom at this stage of life versus when you were like basically a teenager.
Exactly.
How is it different?
I appreciate it more, and I'm like, I want to savor the moments more. I'm calmer. I don't freak out as much. Yeah,
that's good.
That's good.
What's your type?
Oh, okay. What is my type? Energetically speaking, like I'm attracted to people who are very honest, good communicators. A little bit androgynous in energy, you know. I'm not usually attracted to people who look like me, like white, long blonde hair, like this kind of vibe. Yeah,
no Dyke.
None of that.
Yeah,
right. So I sometimes date women of color, or people who are non-binary, or like someone who in some way, you know, differs from this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Love it.
That's
Great
pretty
Matzah Minute.
thorough,
Oh, we're
right?
done with Matzah Minute.
Yeah, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's do secrets.
I don't have to eat matzah.
I know you really wanted to.
You are so good at like making guests feel comfortable. Does everyone by the time they get to secrets be like, I don't have any left, but I saved some?
That's so nice.
Good.
Yeah,
Because we'll dig.
Yeah, we'll
We'll freaking dig.
We got a lot.
Also, I think that you are just really good at opening up to two basically strangers because there are plenty of guests who hold back.
Yeah.
No, I think we are really good at getting people to open
You know
up,
what? You're
though.
actually right.
I do think we are really good at it. I think we have like a really good natural energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it has been your job to divulge all your secrets. Like for your book.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've been on a roll.
Yeah.
It's a perfect storm
Yes.
of vulnerability. Okay. You have one?
I have one.
Yes.
Great.
Go first.
I went to Dyke Day this past Sunday.
Yes.
Saturday. I ran into 2 of my exes and I cried with both of them. And the first one was this woman that I dated who was I can talk about it. It was so long ago. She's a bit older than me. And she's actually and I hadn't seen her in a really long time, and we just like ran into each other and we just like locked eyes and we just like we had the warmest, most beautiful hug. And it was also the day that the hostages were
somehow came home.
I came home. And we just both like cried and we were both so emotional about it. And also it was like, you know, as a queer Jewish person, it's very complicated. And like we both just like we got it, you know, like we get where the other person was coming from. So that was that was a nice wholesome cry. The other ex was the ex who wrote the script. Yeah. I don't know if you caught up on the episodes.
Have you heard any of those? Or maybe we haven't aired them yet.
Oh, you're right. That's the one that comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny. Whatever. It was a great relationship. I don't know what it was. She starts crying to me because of just drama with another ex that she ran into at Dyke Day. And they like started fighting apparently about something, and then she runs into me and starts crying about the fact that she's fighting with this other with this other girl. And I was like, "Oh, you're just crying to like get me," because she was also flirting with me a lot before. And I was like, "Oh, you know, I don't know."
And did the organizers of Dyke Day float in and hand you both trophies?
Yes. You won Dyke Day. Yes, thank you for my award.
Did you have any fun at Dyke Day?
Yeah, I had fun.
Okay.
That honestly, that was fun for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like a negative cry at all.
Did you cry with the second ex?
Oh no, she cried to me.
She cried to you.
Yeah, I didn't cry in that one. Yeah.
I love that.
That's a fun. Yeah, it's just a silly secret.
Yeah, crying exes.
Crying exes.
What was
very gay.
What was like the juiciest thing that you saw at Dyke Day?
Honestly, it was pretty tame. I don't know. Have you been?
Yeah, I went last year with you.
Right.
And all I saw basically was picnic blankets for like 2 square miles.
Yeah.
And then was it you who's telling me? Someone was telling me that there was like a kink tent.
Yeah, there is a kink tent there. Yeah, but I didn't get to see it this year because it was so crowded. But we tried to see like leg wrestling.
Love that.
Yeah, which I can only assume is like intense scissoring.
Yeah. Right?
And
what are you wearing when you leg wrestle? I need a visual.
Nothing.
Yeah, lube.
Yeah, so that would have been juicy if I saw it.
Did you see Bree was DJing? Did you listen to Bree's episode? Bree Geiger. She's a comedian who's also a DJ.
I saw
I'm
her,
not
but I
sure.
didn't get to say hi to her. It was like there were so many.
Yeah.
I didn't get to say hi. I saw Avery Cyrus. You know who she is?
We've talked about her on the pod.
We have?
Because, yes, you're forgetting. Because we talked about how she was dating this guy and then her mom started dating this guy and married him.
No, that's someone else. That's Noah Cyrus.
Oh,
very confusing
yeah.
with the
But
Cyruses.
you know what we talked about Noah because we started talking about Avery and then we got confused.
Yeah.
It's a clip on Instagram.
Great.
Listeners, you can go on Instagram to see it.
Yes.
Watch the clip. Yeah, she's like a big TikTok. She used to date
Yeah.
Jojo Siwa.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like that can't possibly be your lesbian world at all?
Yeah, what is your lesbian world?
Like my drama. I love drama because I grew up with so many sisters and there was always drama. So now like my kids come home from school and I'm like, what's the deal? Like what happened? Who's dating who? I need to know. And they'll come home and be like, there was good gossip, you know?
Oh my God.
We should have them on Yenta.
I love this about you. Honestly, I thought that like as a therapist, you'd be like, no, I can't. But
no. Sometimes we start our team meetings at my practice because I run a practice called Soul Wellness NYC. So if anybody needs a therapy referral or just wants to like call in about therapy, you can go on our website and just book a free consultation right there. But because so many of us are queer, we often get onto team meeting and we'll go into like the latest queer gossip for 10 minutes and then we're like, we need to work.
Yeah.
What's some really juicy gossip you've heard about someone else's life recently?
I don't know. I don't have anything like come to mind off the bat. Most of the things I hear, I probably shouldn't say. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to know so bad. And I never will.
And you never will.
I never will.
What a life.
I have, this is maybe I shouldn't say secret, but I have friends who are therapists and they tell me about their clients.
Really?
They don't tell me like their names.
No identifying info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I would never be able to know who they are, but they'll be like, oh yeah, my client was like crazy today, blah, blah. So I thought maybe you would do that, but I also get not wanting to do that on a podcast.
Right. I also have so many lovely people that I've worked with and I've been so like I really have worked with the most wonderful clients who I love so much and a lot of them are fans, like they do follow and support my work.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's extra important to me that they know that I will always protect them even when out in public.
Shout out to you, clients.
Yeah.
As I tried to get all your information.
They tried.
They really did.
Don't
they
hire
really,
me.
really did.
Yeah, she's a really good therapist. Secrets?
Did you have a secret?
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this is the right audience. So, also, I'm terrified that every time I tell a secret, I've already told it on the pod because that has happened once.
Nothing that we won't shock you
Also,
or anything. You don't have to go to hell.
Yeah.
We'll just listen.
I'm like, okay. So, I lived in New York for 10 years and I moved here a little less than 2 years ago. And when I was in New York, I was going to a Chabad and became really tight with the Rebbitzin. And I got married when I was going there. And she was like, I've got to give you Kala classes. And I was like, all right, here we go. Mm-hmm. Tell me everything. Because I was just like, oh my God, what is she going to say? And I'm genuinely interested. So she like teaches me everything, teaches me about the mikveh. Honestly, she didn't talk about sex at all because she knew I was already having a lot of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, nothing about puzzle pieces fitting together.
No.
Have you heard that?
No, but that's so corny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I really wanted to like hear her version of sex education, but
right.
She spent a lot. Like the thing is like she didn't have to convince me to have good sex. I was like, I'm there. But she did spend so much time trying to convince me about mikveh.
Yeah.
Because she was like, this is the angle. Totally convinced me. And I went there like right before my wedding. And then I was like going to mikveh every month. And it was honestly so freaking great. It was like, from my perspective, I was like, it's spa day. Like, this is all about me. Mm-hmm. I loved it. But the very first time I did it, right before my wedding, like I also was just kind of obsessed with being an Orthodox drag and like walking around Crown Heights in like a dress.
Really?
And just sort of like being like, yeah, I'm one of you. And it was like such a thrill for me. And I didn't realize any of the culture around mikvah. So I went into some shop where there was some woman and we were chatting and she's like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I live in Bay Ridge, but I'm here to go to the mikvah. And she was like, okay. And got so awkward. I didn't realize that this was like a thing nobody talks about.
What?
Mikvah.
You don't tell somebody
night.
that you're going, because then the idea is like they'll possibly start thinking about you having sex.
Exactly.
Because you just said that tonight's the night you're going to do it.
They'll know you're going to have sex tonight and they'll jerk off about it. and I literally, like I was so excited about going to the mikvah that I literally was like finding people to engage in conversation. Be like, I'm here to go to the mikvah. You heard of this one? And every single one of them looked horrified.
You're basically saying, I'm about to fuck my husband.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I thought they were going to be like, you're a freaking Jew. You're so Jewy. And they were just like, shut up. And then when I got to the mikveh, I was like, they're like, they try and keep all the women like separated. They don't even want the women at the mikveh to see each other there. They like
they have like a call system. So it's like room 1 like gets called in, so the woman leaves through the hallway from her bathroom to go dunk. Yeah.
It's so secretive. But I get to the mikveh. I'm so freaking pumped that I'm there. I'm like trying to make friends. I'm looking around. I see a woman and I'm like, hi, oh my God, this is my first time here. I'm so excited. She's like hiding behind a magazine.
Oh my gosh.
It's like,
you're their nightmare.
I'm their nightmare. I'm talking to like the person behind the desk so loudly. I'm like, this is incredible. So who else is here tonight? And she's like, no. And
this was in Crown Heights?
This was in Crown Heights.
Wow.
It was have you ever been to any of the mikvahs in Crown Heights?
No.
It was so freaking sweet.
Really?
Yeah. Me Chaya Mushka, which I think is the name of the Rebbe's wife.
And hundreds of children.
Exactly.
I used to have a friend named Chaya Mushka.
Yeah.
There you go.
Crazy.
And it's gorgeous. I've been to many other mikvahs and I've never seen anything like this. It's stunning. And yeah, so I was like causing a scene. And then my Rebbitzin comes and because she's there to like support me as college teacher. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, this is great. I'm like, it's so great. And she's like, okay, calm down. And then I like go into the room. I'm in like the big suite that's like just for the brides. And they give you like 30 minutes ish to like prep. You clean every part of yourself. I'm in there for 3 hours. Because I was having so much fun. I was like,
so I was like, what the fuck?
I'm going to cry.
Like, I didn't realize how insane this looked to everybody. But they called me multiple times to be like, is everything okay? And every time I'd be like, it's amazing. And I was just like, they told me to get rid of I don't know. It's just so insane now. Like, look at what they thought. But I was like, they told me to get rid of all my calluses, so I'm going to get rid of every single one.
You have like 2 inches deep of calluses.
Like wounds on my body. And it just was having so much fun. And they were thinking like, I don't know why I think this is so funny. But they were like, she's having second doubts, she's having cold feet, or she's completely unstable.
Or she's OCD.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I would get those calls. You know, we had a girl come into the mikveh, but she was in there for 3 hours. We think she might have scrupulosity, OCD. Can you help? Like I would get those calls.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was about
They're
you.
probably calling multiple rabbis.
So what were you in there doing?
Well, I mean, it's not too far off from OCD, but I was like having fun. I was like, I got to remove all my calluses. I've got to cut my nails perfectly. It was just so fun to have 3 hours to do nothing but just like primp. You know, I was cleaning my ear holes. That was crazy. I had no idea. They give you little earrings, like they look like the front of earrings, and you're supposed to clean your earring holes.
Oh, wow.
I forgot about those. Yeah, you're supposed to poke it through with like alcohol or something.
Yes.
Yeah, in case like a little bit of fuzz is inside your earring hole. Yeah.
That's so nuts.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
How do you feel hearing that story?
Like
it must be crazy.
I'm laughing so hard because when I went to the mikveh, I was so scared all the time. Like I was like, oh fuck, I have to go home and like be with this man, and like how am I gonna survive this night? But then hearing you talk about it gives me a chance to sort of reprocess it in my brain and be like, that is hilarious, you know, that you were having fun doing this thing. And it's like I don't know if it's the experience that everyone has.
Yeah, I think it's not the experience of the majority.
It's unexpected.
And like, I had this Rebbitzin who taught me about mikveh is a genius and she's so wise, and she knew how to pitch mikveh to make it sound so awesome.
So, that it was so it makes you want them more.
Oh my god! When I got into the mikveh, there's a mikveh attendant, and after you dunk, they always say something. I've never learned the script. It's like, simchas and brachas and you know something. It's all in Yiddish or Hebrew, and I didn't understand a word. So I just went, oh my god, yeah, what does that mean?
And you're supposed to just like mumble and nod and take your wet-haired, naked, dripping self down the hallway and just get dressed and go home. And you're like lingering.
Oh my god, yeah. Also, I have no problems with nudity.
Hi, everybody. So good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I love your work. I also have no problems with nudity. Listen, I've been to many a nude beach, so I get in there, rip the robe off, and I'm just like, do I have anything? Do I have anything? And I'm like, you gotta check me.
And they're so used to girls like cowering and hiding behind their towels. That is so funny. Oh my god.
So I freaking love mikveh. I haven't gone actually since COVID, because COVID I was like, germs. And then since moving to LA, I just haven't found one near me. But I love that stuff.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
There you go.
That's insane. I was never at a mikveh for they took us once in high school to be like, this is what it will be like. This is the beauty of your future. And it was one of the nice ones.
Yeah.
But
I thought there was like a lot of good shit around like the idea of making sure to like nurture both separateness and togetherness.
Yeah, I like the part about like preparing to be with someone, you know, like I think to this day, like even in my current life, if like I'm dating someone and like, I don't know, they haven't like showered before like
sounds gross.
We meet up. I'm just like,
you're like, go to the mikveh.
I don't do mikveh, but in my head I almost do because I'm like, I'm going to cleanse, you know, I'm like seeing like, so there's a part of it I think that may be stuck, but in a good way, like in a preparation for, I don't know, being intimate kind of way.
I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, one of those Jewish things that if you take it to the extreme, it's fucked up and gross. Yeah. But if you can have a balance, it's really can be beautiful. And it's very much like an unlearning thing. Yeah. That, you know, I can't imagine myself unlearning the patriarchy of the mikveh. But to someone who doesn't have the patriarchy of the mikveh,
right.
like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like so much of Chabad's the only world I know, but so much of their movement is fueled by idiots like me who came in with zero religious trauma and were like, I love this shit.
Right.
You know?
So that they can put the religious trauma in you.
Into their children.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great cycle.
That's great.
Okay, do you have a
Do you
secret?
notice how I'm trying to delay my secret?
You're like, tell us more
What do
about
you
mikveh.
got?
Okay, but I'll do secret. Why the hell not? Like, everyone already knows my whole life.
But it can't be something that's in the book.
It's not in the book,
Okay.
which was hard to find
Yeah.
because, like, a lot of things. Some of my relationships are not in the book. So there's that. And one of the things that's not in the book is that there was like this year after my first divorce, after my second divorce, where I was dating like and doing like one night stands in Manhattan. So Cubbyhole sort of came back into my life. I would go to a hotel for the weekend whenever I didn't have my kids and stay in Chelsea right near Cubbyhole. And then I would go to Cubbyhole and I would pick up women like on the line outside.
Stop.
Because that's where you can talk to them because they're always just waiting, you know, before it got like crowded and loud inside. And I would just like, I don't know, have these one night stands, never talk to the person again.
Would you even go into Cubbyhole or would you just snatch them off the line?
Sometimes I did, and I don't know why. Like I was so,
coming with me now.
to this day, I don't know like why I was so smooth. Like I would go into the bar and like send someone a drink, and I'm like,
Wow.
like who does that right when you come out? You
What's
know?
your move?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to know.
Yeah. What do you like pickup lines?
Eye contact. People say I make intense eye contact. Sometimes everyone thinks I'm flirting with them, and really, like I don't know. Sometimes I'm just making eye contact to be interested. But I think that being interested, you know, in the other person and complimenting works. You know,
Yeah.
people want to hear like something nice about themselves, like you have great energy, or you smell so good, or like. I would love to hear more about this. Do you want to step outside? And then it's like, oh, I'm staying down the block.
Nice. Beautiful hotel right here.
Honestly, that is so impressive that
I know.
you were just picking up all these people. Also expensive. A hotel in Chelsea?
Yeah, I will. Yes, a very privileged secret. And I do want to acknowledge that. I did come out of the closet at 32. I was already a psychologist.
Yeah.
And, you know, I am aware that that's a very different stage than most people come out into the world in. So I am grateful. Like, I'm so grateful I was able to do that and also not get my kids involved.
I think
That was the point.
I think some hotels in Chelsea should start outreach to young lesbians. Be like, we'll get you a hotel room.
Yeah. Just
bono.
like,
Yeah, just make eye
Just to
contact.
What was it like learning how to have sex with women for you? And was that an evolution?
So this is actually something it didn't make it to the book. And there's like a woman I dated right after I left my second husband that I'll forever be grateful to. And if she listens to this, she'll know who she is.
Shout out.
And I'm grateful to you. And you know who you are. So the first time I slept with her, we had sex, and then she was like, why did you just fake it? Because I faked that I orgasmed.
Oh. And she could tell.
And she could tell.
I love
and
that.
I'm like, how come I've been faking orgasms for the last 12 years with all of the men that I've ever been with? And not once has anyone noticed, you know? And to me, like, why was I faking it? That was habit. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want your husband to feel inferior. Like, that's what I was taught. So I just faked orgasms my entire life. And I was like, wow, like, you know, I think I'm in the right zone here with someone that can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was really like a good tutor for me and was so patient and was like, here's something we can try. And sometimes this feels good for people. And like was so excited to have like this kind of newish person. So that's one part. And also some of it's intuitive,
Yeah, for sure.
you know.
For sure.
Like I think that when we get into our heads at the beginning, and this is advice for anyone who's new, it gets really hard to connect. But when you're like, you just breathe and you talk to the other person. You listen, communicate.
Yeah.
It's easier.
How
about you?
Yeah, I had a similar experience where
Okay.
I had a lesbian Sherpa queen who was also a rabbi who my first the first girl I loved after ever, and she kind of she guided me a little bit on like how to have sex. I mean, whatever. And like, obviously, a lot of it was natural, also. But there's just, you know, in the same way that it just takes like certain things that you want to know or learn. And then I started, and she had a strap, but she had like a harness strap, which I loved. But I'm not a fan of that. So then that took me time also to learn of like how to strap.
Yeah. What do you prefer? So like a brief?
I prefer a double-sided strap.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there anything securing it?
Nope.
I like this.
Yeah.
And that also took me a lot of time to learn.
So like learn physically, like how to maneuver,
how to like be smooth with it.
Yeah.
You know, and like be kind of make it seamlessly into the sex.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, when I first started having sex with a lot of women, it was, and people are surprised that it was so like easy to just have like a lot of one night stands. And I have this script that I wrote where the character based on me, like, you know, just fucks a lot of women, and people have read it and they were just like, you know, why shouldn't it be more like sensual or like emotional like the first time?
Aren't ladies like gentle?
Yeah, and they just want to like
vulnerable
cry. Which is like true for a lot of people, but wasn't true for my experience. But also I don't know.
Like, has that evolved over time?
Which part?
The part about like wanting or being turned on by or like satisfied by one night stands.
Oh, yeah. I would say I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, is it like never gonna happen? I don't know.
You'll keep it open.
Yes.
In case like the opportunity presents.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even like a one night stand, it doesn't really happen. I don't really go to bars to like pick up people up.
Yeah.
Like if I do have sex with someone randomly, it's usually a friend that they end up wanting to have sex.
I love
and
this.
I love that for me too. I think I told that story last pod after Shabbos.
Yes,
I did, right?
Well, there have been so many hookup stories.
Pride has been crazy for me.
Okay.
Insane.
Ray is really
the best way.
doing the work for the queer Jewish community.
Thank you so much.
My way through every single person. And you're welcome. Well, should we wrap up?
Let's wrap up.
Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Sara Glass to just like see the raw human side of like what I do and who I am. And also buy Kissing Girls on Shabbat on sale now everywhere that books are sold. I hope that it helps a lot of people. Thank you so much for this. This has been so fun.
Oh my God.
It's my funnest piece of media ever. I love this. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a huge honor.
For totes. I'm excited to plug. I'm going to be performing at the Borscht Belt Museum Comedy Festival.
Wow. What the
July
fuck is that?
27th. They're like trying to revive the Borscht Belt.
In New York?
In New York. It's upstate. It's in the Catskills.
Lenny Bruce?
I'm him.
Wow.
And
that's so cool.
I know. I just booked this. I'm really excited. July 27th.
Cool.
Good for you.
See you
That's
there.
so soon. Wait, in Asheville?
No, in New York.
No.
And Asheville. But this is it's Asheville's next
after.
week. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. RaySchiller.com/shows. I'm going to be in Seattle July 19th and 20th. And I'm going to be in DC June 26th. That's out of order. Whatever. Just go to the website. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Now we'll do the sign off.
I want to be here for the sign off.
The button.
Okay. No,
whatever
it is.
I think you should
push the button.
Okay.
You are a badass.
It's true.
Yeah.
Awesome.